Italy. I briefly present myself before starting. I work mainly for the University of Verona as a postdoc researcher. My main field of research are educational technologies and vocational education and training. In the last years, I participated in several projects about the use of technology in education and about the teacher competencies in vocational education and training. More of this, I am also a trainer and a teacher. I work both in teacher education and as an assistant professor for disabled people. Okay, let's start now. We start with module 2, named digital pedagogy. In the first part of the lesson, I would like to introduce you the whole module, showing which will be the main point and the objective of the module of this module. Okay, so the module is has been divided in 2 units. The first unit is named the role of technology in teaching, and the lesson that we will have today have the objective to understand the role of technology in teaching and its potential for enhancing learning outcomes. In this first unit, as we said, named digital pedagogy, we aim to equip you with the knowledge and skills to leverage technology in teaching, utilize educational technology effectively, develop engaging digital content, employ digital pedagogy strategies, and design inclusive learning activities. Maybe this objective could be, maybe it can sound you as very big, but we will try to reach it using examples and reflective activities. So don't be afraid, because we will go on in parallel, looking at the theory, but also at the practice, the teaching practices. Let's read the objectives. So the first objective is understand the role of technology in teaching and its potential for enhancing learning outcomes. Identify and categorize various educational technologies and compare their key features and benefits. Moreover, create and share multimedia content for digital teaching and learning. Apply effective methods and strategies of digital pedagogy, and design and test inclusive learning activities that meet the diverse student needs. There is an important thing that I would like to enhance, and this is that we will see together. I will present you several kind of technology, educational technologies during the course, but at the same time we will talk a lot about methodology that we have to use in order to employ these technologies, because you have already to know that the second thing that I already mentioned is more important than the first. So this is a course about technology, but we will see yes, we will see technology, educational technologies, but we will mainly focus on methods, on reflecting about how to use technology in a proper way for teaching. So the second, there is a mistake. The unit 2 is not the unit 1. Sorry, unit 2. Okay. The unit 2 is titled Classroom Management. In this unit, the classroom management, called classroom management, we will talk about the knowledge and skills to effectively use technology for classroom management, using innovative strategies, assume the role of a facilitator and manager, evaluate activities, and design engaging cooperative learning tasks. So, the objectives will be explore innovative models of technology-supported classroom management, understand the principles of implementation of flipped classroom model, learn effective strategies for cooperative learning and promote positive interdependence among students, recognize the role of teacher as facilitator and manager in a technology-enhanced learning environment, develop skills in evaluating activities and providing constructive feedback, design and test engaging cooperative learning activities aligned with the curriculum objectives. Okay. So, before starting, it's important to have a question. This question is what we mean for educational technologies. Here we have a short and really general definition. Let's read it. Educational technologies encompass digital tools and resources that enhance learning experiences, support educators, promote inclusivity, and provide valuable data for educational improvement. They are a dynamic and evolving field with the potential to transform the way we teach and learn. I repeat that this is a really generalistic definition. As you can see, in this definition, we can identify a wide range of technologies that we can use for our teaching activities. So another question that we have to do is another question that that I would like to ask you is: are educational technologies useful? So I would like to understand by yourself, by your side, if you think before starting the course. I would like to understand if you think that technologies are useful or not. So, in order to do that, we will use an educational technology. During all the course, we will use several kinds of technologies in order to have this course, so you can start to see in practice how they can use during a training. Okay, so now I will share with you. I will share you in the chat the link that you can use in order to answer to this question. You have to click on the link you find in the chat and open the form and insert the answer to this specific question. Please, I think it is really easy to do also with the mobile phone. Please try to do it and answer to the question. I give you 5 minutes. After that, we will see together the answers. In the meanwhile, I show you that I directly see if that you are answering the question. You see that this is the answer, the number of participants that already answered to the question. Okay, anybody have problem for answer? If anybody have, please write in the chat room. Okay, I think we can go on. So, as you can see here, we already can see your answer. We can have a graphical representation of it. As I can see, the 100% of the respondent which are 9 answered yes to the first question, and also answer to the most part of the fields, the area where they think the technology can be useful. They think that the most part of the proposed area are useful, except for the monitor teaching activities, that is a little bit less redundant. Okay. Now we can copy directly your answer and insert in the presentation that I will share with you after the course. So we have indirect representation of your opinion about educational technologies, use of the educational technologies. Okay, let's click on copy and paste. Here we have. Okay, what can we say about your answer? I thought to answer you if you think that educational technology are useful because is not we are not sure that they are really useful in order, for example, to obtain better results by the students. If we gather in the empirical research about educational technologies, there is not a clear answer that say us that if we use educational technologies, the teaching is better. The teaching is more useful, is more good than a course where we don't use educational technologies. And this is really important to remember. Because this is really important to remember because in the past there have been a lot of periods where educational technologies had been implemented without reflection by the teachers, and the consequences of this action without reflection had been really bad because, first of all, implement technologies in education is expensive, really expensive. So we need to reflect if the cost, the economic if the cost of to use technology is good if we compare it with the results of its implementation. So if we look at the results about the educational technology, there is it's important to look at the study of this professor, this scientist, which name is John Hattie. That is an American professor who made a big empirical study about the efficacy of methodologies and factors in reaching educational objective, in learning achievements. So with his research, he compared and statistically elaborated the results of thousands of studies. So he did a meta-analysis, for who know what I mean, and in order to obtain a value that indicates us if a technology or a methodology or a situation of students is good for learning achievement or is bad. Okay, for every factor that he studied, he produced a value that he called impact factor. That he called effect size. So, for example, for which regard this list of technology that you can see, he elaborated a specific effect size that show us which show us if this technology is good or not for learning achievement. For example, there is the technology of interactive videos has got 0.52 effect size points. And if you look at this graphic, we are in the area of desired effect. So it means that the technology of interactive videos mediumly help teachers to help students to obtain better achievement during learning activities, because the value is here. 0.5.2 is here, so in the zone of desired effects. But if we look at other technologies, we realize that this value is really low. For example, the computer-assisted instruction is 0.37, so is in the teacher effect. So it means that the achievements of students are due to the teacher effect and not to the technology effect. Also, simulation are in this area. Programmed instruction is also in teacher effects. The audiovisual methods are lower, also lower, and distance learning, for example, is 0.09. So, new results in 2023 show that the situation is a little bit changed, because, for example, the simulation that was 0.33 in 2009 raised up to 0.53, for example. The gaming, for example, is 0.41. So we can conclude that technologies are not something that waste the learning processes, but at the same time are not the game changer, if you know what I mean. So educational technologies are not enough to guarantee the learning achievement of the students. Thanks to these studies, we can have some really important considerations about educational technology. And this consideration could be we can assume this consideration as the main point of this course, the base on which we will construct all the rest of our path together. Which are these considerations? The first of these is that, with a few exceptions, the impact of the use of technologies on the effectiveness of school learning is not significant, and we already said it. Second is that, on the one hand, the scarce effect is confirmed, but on the other hand, we see variance depending on the context and the subject. This means that if you implement educational technology in a specific context and in particular subject, technology are more have a more significant effect on learning achievement of the students. For example, the results of research show that the STEM subjects like math, sciences, and technical subjects. In this area of subjects, the educational technologies are more significantly useful for students. But there are other considerations that we have to do. The other consideration is that the most advanced technological constructivism is questioned because of the cognitive load theory. This means that an excess of open activities during learning, during courses, for example, the using of methods like learning by discovery, internet searches, preparing PowerPoint, etc., can make difficult for students to focus their attention on what matters, and as they often like to explore details relevant on unimportant things while doing these activities. But this doesn't mean that these methodology are not good and you have not to implement during your lesson. This means that you have to balance the methodologies, to reflect and balance the methodology that you use. Methodology, technologies, right balance. Other consideration is that a critical introduction of a large-scale technologies almost fails in the objective of improving the quality and quantity of learning with the expenditure of human and financial resources. Okay. Other point is that technologies should not be viewed as inertly decisive, but rather as tools that supplement rather than replace the quality of teaching interaction and strategy developed by teachers. And this is the main point. Technologies cannot replace the role of the teacher, cannot replace the teacher and the role of the teacher. Please, sorry for pronunciation, Okontim, if you want to say something or if you want to write something in the chat. So Benedetta, the slide is not showing.
Sì. Okontim Do you want to say something? You raise your hand.
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay. The slide is not showing. We're just in the Google form.
Sorry, can you repeat?
I don't understand what you mean. Sorry.
That you are showing the Google form. This is the only thing I got. Can you repeat, please, Okontim? We couldn't hear you well.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. Is what I'm trying to say is that the slide that
Yeah.
he's using to teach us, I can't see it. I'm just seeing the Google form.
Okay.
Are you using the mobile
You
phone?
are.
Are you using the mobile phone?
No.
Yeah. Now you are sharing the Google form, and they cannot see the slide.
I am sharing the Google form.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Thank you, Okontin. I didn't change the. Really, thank you. Do you see now?
Yes, it is okay.
Thank you.
Yes,
Now
it's
we can
okay
see.
now.
Thank you. Sorry. I briefly show you because there were really important images to see, but I show you again the important images. So I showed you that I inserted your answer directly in our slide, that so you can see your answer when we share the PDF of the slides. So these are the research, the books of the research that I taught you, and this is Etty. These are the effect size values that I mentioned before. So as you can see, interactive videos are 0.52, and is in the zone of desired effect. Computer-assisted distraction is 0.37, as in teacher effects, etc. These are several results about the impact of several technologies studied by Hetty. And after this, there is the list of consideration that I was listing you. Briefly reprise with this consideration. So we said that important things are that the most advanced technological constructivism approach were questioned because they discovered that the excess of open activities can make it difficult for students to focus their attention. And we enhanced that this doesn't mean that open activities are bad for teaching, but it means that we have to balance the methods when we project during our instructional design, when we design our activities. The second consideration is that the critical introduction of large-scale technologies always fail in the objective of improving the quality and the quantity of learning with the expenditure of human and financial resources. And I personally saw a lot of schools which invested thousands and thousands of euros, hundreds of thousands of euros, in order to buy a big amount of, for example, PC, tablets, and other kind of technologies, in order to make the school innovative, and but without doing a teacher training for using this technology, or maybe without empowering the internet connection. And the consequences of this large-scale implementation without reflection, in my opinion, is that all this PC and all this technology hasn't been used. Moreover, technologies has a rapid obsolescence, and after 2-3 years, a new PC is already old and we cannot use anymore. So the schools have a big amount of old technologies that have never used by students and teachers. Okay, another consideration that we mentioned before, and that is the most important consideration, is the centrality of the teacher's action. So after we repeated that we have to balance methodologies and technologies, but in this equation, the teacher have always to be at the center, is always at the center, and the quality of teaching is the responsibility of the teacher. We cannot replace the teacher and his responsibility with technology. Technology is only a really good support for teachers if we use in a proper way. Okay. We will repeat a lot of time this point because it's really important. The use of technologies cannot be based on tools or content, but on students and their role in the learning process. Okay? When we design our course, our lesson, our teaching activities, we cannot base these activities on the tools or on the content that we are going to teach, but we have to center our design on the students. Okay, so we will talk about technologies for 6 lessons, but we have always to remember that we are centered on the students and on the learning process. Okay. So, which are the steps for an educational technology implementation? The main step. Main step could be divided in 3 categories: infrastructure, teachers, and use of technology. For which regard the infrastructures, is good to adopt few tools but stable. what it means that if we are in a, for example, in a school, but it is good also for a company. For example, if we use technology for training, is important to use simple, easy tools, easy devices, but that have not technical problem. If we use expensive and complicated technology, it's easy that we have not we are not able to obtain our our objective. So for which regard infrastructure, another point is focus on services. So not on hardware, but on services. For example, stability of network, the maintenance of the learning platform, instead of devices. If we have some money to invest in educational technology, it is better to invest it in services. For which regard teachers, is important to gradually involve teachers in use of educational technologies, organize training interventions for teachers, and propose tools while also leaving room for creativity. So teachers have not to be caged in by technologies, but or by mandatory guidelines for manager, but need to have a he have to try to experiment these new instruments. So the third category is use of technology, and the point are using technology to support teaching and integrating the use of technology in instructional design. During our course, we will see how to balance all these points, in particular the group of the point grouped by for a teacher and the point grouped by use of technologies. Okay, now I would like to show you two brief videos because I think that are really interesting. Because before I told you that I talked to you about the introduction of large-scale technology. This introduction of large-scale technologies that happened a lot in the past years had been the consequences of a big enthusiasm on potential of technologies that have been promoted also by the marketing, and every 10 or 20 years we can see that this phenomenon will happen anytime, will happen again. For example, I don't know if you know who is Skinner, Professor Skinner. In 1960, invented and proposed, commercialized a teaching machine that in his mind will it have to totally substitute, replace the teachers. And now I would like to show you the spot for the TV that they realized in the 60s in order to understand how much of enthusiasm about this old educational technology.
Reading about teaching machines, I've heard my friends discuss them, but actually I know very little about them. What will they do for my children?
Teaching machines are like a magical book, incredible and fast, learning efficiency. About the effect, certainly children do 5 times fast. Now, so the student sees a bit of text or other printed material in a window. He operates the machine and looks immediately. It needs most rapid. The student quickly learns to be right. The student is free of uncertainty or a general failure. The child is doesn't have to be a monotonous teacher. For her teacher, she can then some time to have time to consult with the machine. Teaching place a living dehumanized structure. They will recognize teaching machine is good and teacher knowing what teaching is only the beginning. Teaching machine. Teaching machine. Teaching machine. Teaching machine. Machines, teaching machine, teaching machines, teaching machine, teaching machine, teaching machine, a teaching machine, teaching machine, a teaching machines. Teaching machines will solve all our problems. They may indeed create some new problems.
Okay. Okay, sorry, I saw that you cannot hear the video, but please you can see it maybe after our lesson when we will share the slides. The point was that in this spot, the testimonial repeat a lot of times that teaching machine will substitute teachers in okay. I see that Tope, I don't know if is the right pronunciation, Tope or Tope, wrote a interesting question on the chat. Please, how can schools balance the use of traditional metrics of evaluation with those improvised by educational technologies? This is a really good question, and but the answer is not easy. A really complex answer, and I hope we can answer during the course, because there is not a simple and easy answer to this question. I'm sorry. All the things that we are talking about are really complex, and
okay. Thank you very much.
No problem. I'm here for the and please, Tom, if you have any questions, ask, continue to ask, because it's important to understand what we're talking about and what are your doubts about what we're talking about. After I stop for a moment the discourse in order to say you that after every lesson, I will share with you a form where you can put in all your questions about the lesson. With these questions, with questions, I will elaborate a FAQ, and with this FAQ, we lesson by lesson, we will start with the answers. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat. Perfect. Good. So, moment. We can go on, and we can have a moment to reflect about we were saying. So I would like to ask you to take 10 minutes for yourself and answer to this task. Think of a situation in which you used educational technologies in an educational or training context in which you perceived their usefulness. Okay, if not, so if you have not an example, think of a training goal for which you think educational technology might be useful. When you have this, when you thought about this, if you think that technology you thought about was useful or could be useful, why? Why is it useful? When you have an answer to this question, please go to in the form. Here is the link, and I will put I will copy in the chat, and please answer to this question. So I repeat: think about a situation in which you use an educational technology or a situation or a goal which you think educational technology might be useful, and try to understand or to make your opinion about why this technology could be useful for your aim, for your teacher aim. I paste the link in the chat. Please take your time and try to give an answer. After I receive the answer, we will share it, and we will try to discuss about this using the chat or by talking. Okay, more 2 minutes, and we will stop. 5 minutes. 5 minutes more, and we will go on. In the meanwhile, I'm reading your answers. Really, your answers are really interesting. Please, so if someone else can insert also his answer, are really good and interesting. Okay. So let's see your answer. First of all, thank you for your answers. If something is already writing, please go on. Also, if I go on. So the first answer is: I took a class of engines where it was required on a component of an engine a bit of concept which the usefulness of something as augmented reality could be useful. Now standing, I conducted the class, passing my information via illustration. So yes, education technology in this case could be useful. This is really interesting. Now, sorry, I share because I don't want to forget another time. Okay, screen. Okay. Okay. Good. These are your answers. Okay. This is the first answer. Now I will use a technology, internet tool in order to systematize your answers. This tool is partially free, and you also can use it for your lessons. So this is the first answer. Reading this, is interesting to see that in this case the particular methodological action that made the difference was the use of illustration. This is really interesting and really important because the use of images and illustration in order to explain concepts is really good in teaching, and also the research confirm this phenomenon. And in this case, in this phenomenon, technology can be really, really useful. Okay, so we can name this section as use of images. Okay. Next is as an electrical instructor, there are some concepts are just better explained with technology. Okay, if often use 3D animation to explain abstract concept of students. Really, really good, interesting, and I think that we can add this to this column of concepts. Because is also in this case related to the use of images, but not only the images, but maybe the simulations. Sorry, the person who wrote this, who gave this answer, can write or open the microphone and explain me, please, if he used something that we can name as a simulation, please.
So please, can you come again with the question?
Abiola?
Yes.
Okay, you wrote this.
Yes, I think that was my guess.
Okay, did you use simulation for this teaching activity?
Yes, we use simulations.
Okay, so thank you, Abiola. So we can move this to simulation category. Thank you very much. Okay, we can go on using Google Forms to conduct test classroom. Perfect. So we can put this in simulation section. Sorry, evaluation section or assessment better. Okay. This was useful because it saves time and paper. Okay, this can add a section called maybe efficiency. In this case is a really good point, but we have always to remember that technology have a cost, and so it save paper, but what we use instead of paper. But this is not always a good change, but for a time is a good point. Okay, I use simulator. Perfect, really good, because the students request for it and help to gain better understanding of the course. Really good, really good. If you remember, we said that the simulation have been proved as a had been proved that the simulation has a wide effect size on the learning achievement of the students. Another point, I used Google Forms to deploy an assessment, really good, and answer metric panel helped me keep records easily and save material cost. Amazing. And but this is good also for simulation. No, sorry, not simulation. It was assessment. Okay, and also for efficiency, I break into this. Okay, very good. Another, I perceive the user knows a bit difficult to evaluate the real effectiveness. Very good, based on different learning outcomes and varying learning pattern of the student. I have learned to use them to support learning, but not to substitute. Wow, really good, really good. Okay. Really good point. This could be we can make maybe a new section called alternate teaching style or Yeah, or differentiate teaching style. Okay, yeah. Perfect. Another distance learning at the same time. Yes, these have been very good during COVID time, for example. And also if I am in Italy and you are in Africa like now. Okay, distance learning. Okay. Educational teachers be useful to me in managing class assessment. Perfect. Helping me give students an unlimited access to resources. Perfect. And this is the new category. Access to resources. Okay. Perfect. And here we put the rest. Here we can put the assessment. Assessment here. Okay. Has been happening manage class. Interesting. Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay, perfect. Easy access to information and wider communication scope. I think this could be added to access to resources. Okay. Equipment of physical. Perfect. This is something like simulation. Okay. And here the use of digital is very useful because it has helped me to visit little Italy virtually and have been lectured in by Italian professor. Wow. I'm glad that you like Italy. So we can put in simulation, I think. Okay. Perfect. So we have different categories that group your answer. And we can see that there are that respondent recognized that that educational technologies are useful in their opinion. But useful for what? Are useful or when? Are useful because they allow us to an easy use of image. We can easily show simulation to students. We can easily or efficiently do the assessment. We can we can save material and cost. We can differentiate our teaching styles. We can implement distance learning or access to easily access to resources. Or moreover, educational technology help us with the classroom management. I asked you to give me to I ask you to share with me your experiences because I'd like to show you that your experience and your and what you already know about the use of educational technologies, we will correspond partially to what we are going to say, because these points will be touched during the next lesson. We will talk about simulation, we will talk about assessment, we will talk about use of image, efficiency, etc. All your experiences we will be shared with you with the materials. So I would like, before going on, I would like to open a bracket about the use of images. While I was showing you slides before, there were a point while I was listing the consideration emerged by the study of Etty, that named the cognitive load theory. This is an interesting point for the topic of educational technology, because cognitive load theory is something we have to have in mind every time we think to use technology, every time we will design a course or a teaching activity supported by technologies. So maybe someone have already heard about the cognitive load theory. If you want to write, or if you want to open the microphone. Okay, nobody. I think nobody heard about the cognitive load theory. Well, what is the cognitive load theory? The cognitive load theory suggests us that a student while during the activities cannot cannot be overwhelmed by a big amount of media, by a big amount. He cannot use lot of channels, communication channels at the same time. For example, if we give a task to our student which comprehend, for example, which comprehend the use of multimedia, while that comprehend audio, video, and writing, reading, at all these channels used at the same time, we will overload his cognitive load. And so we have to remember that we cannot use a lot of technology at the same time and a lot of media at the same time. According to research results, is as I mentioned before, is all the best solution, one of the best solution, not the best, one of the best solution is to to show together a concept with an image. Or another option is to use the video. But while they are watching the video, we can ask, for example, to take notes about the video, or using particular software to notate particular points of the video, for example. And these kind of practices results to be really good for teaching. During next lesson, I show you some application web apps that you can use for these activities. Specifically for vocational education and training context, the use of videos has been tested, for example, by University of Vocational Education and Training in Switzerland, have been studied a lot, and they discovered that is really good for vocational education and training. There are a lot of students that in Switzerland that during their vocational school record with a camera what they do in laboratory, and after the activity they watch themselves and their working practices, notating errors during the practices, notating what can they do better, etc. This kind of practice has been used a lot. Is being used a lot in, for example, in medicine field. The counterpart, but the counterpart is that it's a little bit expensive because it needs a lot of devices and particular software. I see that Temitop, I hope the pronunciation is good, but I think not. Temitop want to say something, please write or open the microphone.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Nice to meet you. Yes?
All right, okay. So, yeah, just a small question. Now, in the use of videos and multimedia for the classroom,
Yeah.
in the use of videos and multimedia, in that short video we saw by B.F. Skinner, I think he made mention of one of the advantages that the student can learn at their own pace as regards the traditional learning.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, how do you put all the different learning rates in a single metric of evaluation? Because there's a clear outcome that is expected of everybody in the class. But each person is learning on their own. So if your class is meant to take it maybe 2 weeks, but a student will need like 3 or 4 weeks to grab what is to be taught. How do you factor that in the normal general evaluation?
Okay, this is a good question.
Is my question clear, please?
I think yes. You are asking me if how we can compare the evaluation in the classroom and the evaluation gave to a student that is studying at home, for example, using multimedia content, for example. That's right? What is your question?
No, I mean, for a student that learn at for students, imagine you have 10 students in the classroom.
Yes, yeah,
and
okay.
they are all using a teaching machine which enable
Yes.
them to learn at different pace or paces. So now, after say the determined period of the class, maybe a week or 2 weeks, the student has not fully understood what is the content of the video. How do you make room for him to
Okay.
enter into
Okay,
the normal
okay.
evaluation?
Yeah, the point is that, as we said before, we cannot substitute the teacher with these machines. Nowadays there are not machines like this, of course, but something similar. The role of the teacher is fundamental in learning processes. So I cannot imagine a situation that you described, because before this, the teacher, the student asks an explanation to the teacher. Cannot go on without understanding the content that he is reading, or he is the lesson that he is doing by himself. For example, if we use teaching machine are an example, a really old example, but for example, for nowadays, if we use something more modern, like for example virtual environments with virtual classes, or something similar, the use of didactical videos, and we cannot think to leave the students alone during this process, because the teacher have to be always present, and the technology is always is only something that can help well structured design of a teaching activity. I don't know if I answered.
Yes. Okay.
Yes,
Thank
I
you very
answered.
much.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Something Boham. I see that there is the hand raised up of Boham. Philip. Sorry, Philip. Boham. Boma. Sorry, Boma Philip. Would you like to write or to talk?
Oh, okay. So,
Good morning, Philip.
yeah, good. It's afternoon here. Okay,
Afternoon. Yes.
so
Also here.
yeah. Okay, so mine is just a full.
Connection is unstable. I can hear you. Sorry, Philip, if you can write your question, because the connection is unstable, and I can hear you. I cannot hear you.
Mabound. Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello.
now we can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, okay. Sorry for that poor connection here. Yeah. So my question was just a follow-up question to the just ended question, and I was just saying that we know that educational technology is very important today, in as much as it even helps today's teachers to integrate new technology and tools in their classrooms, and also teachers are even able to upgrade and improve the learner centeredness of their classroom. I wanted to find out that in this training, are we using which approach are we actually using? Is it the learner centered or the teacher or facilitator centered method approach? And even with that, when it comes to assessment, the just ended question, my brother was saying, how do you assess a learner based on maybe based on the approach you use? Because we know that all learners can achieve, but not at the same day or the same way. So the same way here means that it could also be that the approach you use, the learner will not be able to, or the learner cannot grasp the concept unless you use a different approach. So the question here is, what approach are we actually using here? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Philip. I don't know if I well understood the question. Did you ask me if how we can assess for example, two students that achieve their aim in two different moments using different paths? This is your question. What is your question?
No.
Sorry,
I was just asking.
I don't hear you really well. Sorry.
Yeah, so it's the same as what my brother just said. But mine has to do with the approach we use. Is it a learner-centered approach or the facilitator or the teacher-centered approach that we use here in this training?
Okay.
Marco, maybe I don't know if it's clear now, but I think his question is focusing more on which kind of approach we should use. Cioè che approccio, if more centered on the learner, or on the
or
on the facilitator,
oh,
or on the technology itself.
As we said also before, Philip, thank you very much, Benedetta. Sorry. We said before, is really important to center our teaching activities on the students, never on the technology. Technology had to be something that can support our activity. And when for example, we have to design our activity, first of all we have to think about the aims, think about the objective, think about the pedagogical model or pedagogical approach we will use, and after we can think about which technology can support my activity. Is there a technology which can support an activity? If there are technology that can support our activities, we can think to use it. but is a second time question, a second time second order of importance question. This is the point. Did I answer?
Yeah, I think it's okay now. Now, if I understand, our approach should be solely on the learner centered.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. On the learners.
All right.
The center,
All right.
the game changer is the teacher, not the technology. The who
Well noted.
think about the activity and manage the activity, the learning process of the students is the teacher, and the teacher have to construct the activity on the needs of the student and on the curriculum, of course, on the curriculum and on the needs of the students. I know that we cannot implement this approach every time and in every situation, because there are material things that can that obstacle our the obstacle this approach, but is important to try to implement this approach even if we have these obstacles. This point is the synthesis of what emerged of today, emerged from the academic research about educational technology. I think that's all about this point. Okay. Anybody else have questions? Okay. We have 10 minutes more, and I would like to give you more information about how we manage this course. In the material of in the material of this lesson, inside the slides that Benedetta will share with you, you will find this table. I share. Okay. One moment, top icon. I briefly finish to explain one thing, and I will hear you. So in the slide, you will find every lesson some tables that will show the characteristics of several tools that we will use, that I will show you as examples during the course. For example, today I used the Padlet to categorize your answers. In this table, you can see in summary which are the main characteristics of this tool. You can find the link in order to use it. You can find a summary, a brief summary of his functions. You can find several examples that sorry, I will correct this. Several examples for use it in the school, and you can find other information about the necessity to create an account or not create an account, or which are the the functionalities if you don't want to pay for use it, and other technical characteristics that you need it. Okay, and this was a point. After this, before give you the task for individual activities, I would like to hear Tope that raised and his hand.
Thank you very much for that opportunity. The material that was distributed earlier by Benedetta in the competence-based learning approach, I found it quite interesting. I think it's slide 28, talking about the communicating in the mother tongue, the centrality of language in learning. Now, in a multicultural environment like I live in Nigeria, where we have several languages and all that. What's your opinion about the inculcation of mother tongue in explaining some difficult concepts that probably the mastery of English does not afford the students to grab it so well? Do you think use of mother tongue can be of help?
Really big question. And I think your name is Tope or
Tope.
Okay. I think you have more experience than me to answer this question. I'm sorry. I would like to ask you this. I
have an opinion, but I would like to hear from you, from your own global experience and all that in pedagogy.
I think that it also depends about the concept you are learning, because I give you an example. Remember my experience, for example. I studied a lot pedagogy in Italian. Okay, all my studies at university were about pedagogy in Italian language on book materials brought by Italian professor. Okay. During my PhD, I started to study pedagogy and educational sciences in English. Okay, I confess to you that I had a big difficulty in the first moments, because there were not sorry, I don't know the name in Okay, because the concepts were not totally stackable. You understand? And
Yeah, I understand.
and I also realized that the form of the language also change the concept that you are communicating.
That's true.
For example, in English, is really more difficult to explain complex concept, in my opinion. I am confronting English with Italian. Okay, Italian is, for example, in Italian, I can explain concepts in a more complex way. I can give you, I can show you the complexity of the problems. For example, in English is more difficult because the English language form tend to synthesize and simplify the concepts. You understand? And this could be a good thing for there are several fields in where this is a good thing, but in other occasion is not a good thing. So
Okay,
I don't. Which is your mother language, Tope?
Yoruba.
And you think that that is better to teach using your mother language or, for example, English?
No, obviously not. In sciences, English, I think English is well, but I speak Spanish as well. So Spanish explains some concept much better, especially in humanities. But in English, sciences are very good, very well expressed. So if I'm to teach humanities, for example, psychology or philosophy, I'll prefer teaching in Spanish.
Yes.
You know.
And
So
this is
the centrality of language in learning, I think, is something that I want to learn more about, because
this is really interesting because, for example, the human sciences tend to find his preferred authors in Spain, Italy, and France, for example.
Yeah.
And and for the STEM and that you mentioned before, the scientific language is English now.
Yeah,
as you can.
well, that's it.
Thank you, Tope.
Thank you so much for that.
Maybe Philip have another question.
So, okay, so I just want to give a small comment about
Thank you.
Mr. Tope's question that has to do with the language barriers. I'll say you are a facilitator, and then in competency-based approach, even before induction and orientation stage of learners, you should um, you should know some of these challenges. You should tell learners or ask learners and whether the language they are okay with. So at that stage, at the orientation stage, if learners if as a facilitator you get to know that some learners are having challenges with some languages, I think that is the stage you have to make provision for either another interpreter or another facilitator, or I don't know, but I think you have to make provision for that student to solve that problem as early as possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Philip. Thank you. Okay, it's time to close, but before leave you, I need to show you the activity, the individual activity. Inside of these slides, the content that Benedetta will share with you, you can find, you will find the link for, in the last slide, we will find the link for the form, the Google form, where I ask you a reflection for the next time. And in this form, I will ask you two things. The first task, I will ask you to write down the main question or concern you have about the today lesson, and this will your question will be grouped and answered in the next at the beginning of the next lesson. And the second task asks you to describe the training or the educational context where you are working, or if you are not already working, where you would like to work. So in this case, I ask you to answer the following questions. So describe the training educational context, describe who are your students, how large is your class group or your classes, what is the target curriculum, what are the educational objectives, what technological tools are available to you, who can use them, if there is an internet stable connection, and I ask you to describe the classroom in which you are teaching. So time by time, we will gather I will ask you to give me information about your work in order to use it to help you for the project work. Because as you can say, as you can know, sorry, because as you know, during this course, we will have to develop a project work. So lesson by lesson, we will construct this project work today, and this activity we will help you with the project work. Today we have not time to introduce it, but next time we will talk also about project work. So I'm really glad to talk with you, and I hope the next time someone else we will talk, we will share with me and with the other participants his or her experience or opinions or questions. And I hope you good evening and good work with the individual activities. Now we will see another next time, next lesson with me. Next lesson with me will be
I think next Friday.
Next,
This
so yeah,
Friday.
I was next Friday, next Thursday,
Thursday,
next Thursday,
the 29th or the
The-
20th?
26 October.
No, 20. This Friday, the 20th.
This Friday the 20th.
No.
No.
Well,
Okay.
tomorrow there will be the lesson. No.
Okay.
Wait, tomorrow there will be the lesson with Maria Grazia to continue the work on the competence-based approach. And then next lesson with Marco, let me know so that, yeah. I've noted this Friday, but maybe I'm wrong. So I will talk to Marco and let you
Right.
know. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow with Maria Grazia. Okay.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Marco.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you very much for this conversation.
Bye.
Bye.